right, it is now time for Wild Card Weekend for 2024. It's hard to believe it's 2024. I don't know if they consider this a 2023 season, but it is 2024. It's Wild Card Weekend. We're going to do a recap of the final week of the year, which was a week that's hard to predict because a lot of teams setting out players, but we'll see how we did last week. Going into last week, Brady had 156, Ethan had 161, I had 163, so it was very close, close as it's been for a while. I had Pittsburgh winning, and they did, so I got double points for that. Ethan had Houston beating Indy. He got double points for that. Ethan and I both had Cincy beating Cleveland. I knew Cleveland was going to set out most of their players, and that's what happened. We all had Detroit winning. They did. None of us picked Tennessee or the Jets winning, and they did. Ethan and I had New Orleans. We all had Tampa Bay. We all had Green Bay. Brady and I both picked Vegas winning. None of us picked the Giants upsetting Philly, which was my favorite thing of the whole week because I can't stand Philadelphia. Ethan and I both had Seattle. We all had Kansas City. None of us picked the Rams. I knew that could have happened because 49ers were setting people, but the Rams were setting people as well. We all had Dallas winning easily. And Brady and I both picked Buffalo to upset Miami and win the division. So, now, here's what we're going to do. I got a couple pages back here. It's going to be wild card predictions now. Not as many predictions, of course, because not as many games. Brady has 162. Ethan's 177. I'm at 175. So, last week didn't do too many good favors for Brady. So, let's move on. We got the 2 games today. If you notice, I got Houston winning. Now, I want Cleveland to win. We live in Ohio. I can't say I grew up being like a Browns fan. Like, I don't have a Browns jersey or Browns hat. But I've always rooted for them because they're kind of the hometown team. Growing up, I was a Cowboys fan, still a Cowboys fan. And my AFC team since the mid-90s has been the Colts. But I do root for Cleveland. And so I'm rooting for Cleveland. And, of course, I root for Ohio. I root for the Buckeyes. And C.J. Stroud is doing amazing in his rookie year at Houston. I'd still go with Cleveland winning, but I'm going to go with the upset here. Even though they are home, I go Houston winning this because the Browns, this is somebody who, I love the Browns, but they're going to figure a way to Browns it up. And Ethan and Brady, though, they both have Cleveland winning, but I'm going to go with Houston. Brady took the Dolphins. Ethan and I both have the home team Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, I'd love to see the Dolphins win here, but the reality is Kansas City just has too much experience in the playoffs, and it's going to be cold. It's supposed to be the 4th coldest game in NFL history. Dolphins don't do good on the road, and they certainly don't do good when it is cold. I believe they haven't won this year if it's below 45 degrees. Maybe that's over the last few years. I saw that statistically, 0-9 over the last how many ever games. When it's below 45. It's going to be about 5 degrees tonight. I just can't see Miami winning, and they don't usually win these big games. So Ethan and I both went Kansas City. Brady took the win for Miami. We all got Buffalo winning. This is really tough because Pittsburgh is my least favorite, probably in any sport, along with Michigan Wolverines, as far as all sports, teams that I can't stand. Pittsburgh's right up there. However, they're kind of the underdog, I could see myself rooting for them. Buffalo, a couple years ago, I was kind of rooting for them, and I get tired of them now. I don't know what it is. They shouldn't be there. They went on a run. They deserve to be there. They went on a run, but I don't like them. I don't like either one of these teams. So we all got Buffalo winning though, because they probably will, and they're playing just as good as anybody, probably better than most. We all got Dallas beating Green Bay. Like I said. And I grew up a Cowboys fan, still a Cowboys fan. So when I was a preteen, 10, 11, 12, I got to watch 3 out of 4 years the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, which made me optimistic of being a Cowboys fan. And since then, it's been decades of heartache and heartbreak. So I would not be surprised to see Green Bay upset Dallas. Dallas is playing as good as they've ever played, at least since they won the Super Bowl. They've had some good years, but they usually get eliminated in the first round, if not the second round. I don't see them going far, even though I'd love to see them go far. I'm going Dallas winning, though, at least this week. and I want Dallas to win. So up here, I want Cleveland, but I'm going to go with Houston. Even though I think Cleveland, I think Cleveland's still the better team. I think they will win, but I'm going to make the upset pick just to try to get the double points there in Houston. And like I said, the Browns will do something to brown them up. Now, Ethan, Brady, we all took Dallas here in this one. Moving on to the late night game, and probably the game that I anticipate the most, just because it looks good. Both teams are playing well. You can't write it. The Stafford-Goff situation, the trade that happened years ago. I'm going Rams here. They are playing just as good. I'd say Buffalo and the Rams are playing just as good as anybody. So I'm going to go the Rams here, beating Detroit. Detroit's never in this position. I hope Detroit wins. Ethan's got Detroit, but I think the Rams will win it. We all got Philly as well, even though Philly's been playing horrible, like the worst out of all the teams in the playoffs the last month, Philly for sure. But it's Tampa Bay. They're 9-8. They only are here because their division stinks. Baker, I'd like to see Tampa Bay win, but we're all going to go Philly. Now, the thing about this one is I always say, like, this is the team I think is going to win. This is the team that I want to win. On paper, I would say I want Detroit to win because they're the underdog. I can usually root for the underdog. I mean, they're not the underdog in this matchup, but because of their history, they're the underdog. However, if Detroit wins and Dallas wins, they play each other. I don't want to see Detroit play Dallas. I want the Rams to win, so they play 49ers because I think they have the best chance of upsetting the 49ers. And then that means Dallas would play a really weak Philly right now, which they destroyed before. However, that's a rival, so I don't always want to see them play Philly. And I joked with somebody, I said, they might be able to beat Philly in the playoffs. They might be able to beat the 49ers, but I don't think they can do both. But Detroit's going to come with a chip on their shoulder because of the officiating that happened. Enjoy Wild Card Weekend tonight, tomorrow, and Monday. We'll be back next week with our predictions. We're going to get more points than just 1 or 2 for this. I think we did 5 last year. So you get it right, 5 or 10. So anything can happen. These points right here, that can all change. Wild Card Weekend. And I want to mention one other thing. I almost forgot. Last year, when we made our Super Bowl predictions, we made our prediction for who we thought was going to be in the Super Bowl this year. So we're going to show those. And then we just made predictions today at the start of this year's playoffs of who we thought would be in the Super Bowl. Brady last year had Buffalo and Philly, and it's the only matchup out of our three picks that could actually happen because Ethan and I had Cincy and the Niners. Cincy's not in the playoffs. He had the Bengals as well, and the Eagles. Bengals, like I said, they're not in. But we both had the Eagles. That could happen. The 49ers going into our predictions that we made earlier today at the start of the playoffs. Ethan and I both had the Ravens and the Niners. Of course, they're both number ones. That's not really a far pick there. But Brady has Ravens-Cowboys, which would be exciting. He's a Ravens fan. He's also a Cowboys fan. So we'll see what happens. Enjoy Wild Card Weekend.